Hey guys, we're going to get into this little trailer today. It's kind of broke. It's a tipper trailer that's not functioning, so we'll go and have a look at this, eh? So this is the trailer. It's just an old 6x4 that had serious rust issues. All I've done was put a bit of sheet metal around the bottom there and repaired it all the way around the front and chucked a sheet of ply in the floor there. But then what I also did was put tipping pins at the rear and put an extra chassis under it. If you have a bit of a look under there, it's got a separate chassis and I've made it into a tipper. So, but today's problem, you may or may not be able to see it, there was a pulley in there, and here's part of it. It's an old plastic one, kind of, it come out of an old gym set, and I thought, yeah, no, that'll last ages. But they both have snapped into pieces. There's the other one down in there, or what's left of it. So it's starting to fray the cable, and the old winch, it cuts out when you go and put a bit of load on it. So it's been a really good, durable tipper trailer for me around the property here. And yes, that's a handbrake lever because it has a active tailgate. I'll show you here, which is another thing that we've got to fix. There's a little lever that comes and closes up on the tailgate, which pivots from the top up here, pivots from there and swings out as a normal truck tailgate would. So let's get it up in the shed and see if we can make a couple of pulleys out of any old steel and get it rolling again so we can get into it. So hang around and we'll make this into something that's worthy again. Okay, let's get into it. So the problem with these pulleys, besides being plastic, they tend to snap. I've had a few go, so I'm going to have a go at actually making some. I did think about probably just putting some, off-the-shelf type pulleys, but couldn't really find anything amongst my stuff or locally in a store that was strong enough that I thought. So here's one I made just before, just out of solid steel. Now, it's not quite the same diameter as that one, but I think that'll certainly do the job. It has these little steel bosses that fit inside, sort of like a bearing, or their version of a bearing. So they just sit inside there, one on each side, and put a little bit of grease in there, away you go, and the cable runs really, really nicely inside it. So this is what I'm going to make it out of. Big old chunk of steel. So that's what the other one was. And just going to spin it up on the old lathe. I've done a refurb on that in the past. You can check out the link down in the description for the old lathe upgrade. But today we're going to spin up a new wheel like that and just see how we go, and then install it in on the tipper trailer. So let's get into it. So there we have it. Some nicely machined on my little old lathe. Bushes are just pushed in there. Let's go and install them. They're certainly good enough for the job. Just a bit smaller than the big old thing, but they're not a high-speed pulley by any means, and the ratio, like diameter, isn't crucial. Let's go and chuck them together. Chuck it in the trailer. For those with a sharp eye, and saw that I didn't feed the cable through the pulleys again, it's because the cable wasn't really liking not having pulleys to go around. So I'm going to shorten it. So I've fed a bit out until I've found where there's no little burrs, and just going to cut it off and feed it through and put a clip on it, because it just sits on a shackle bender. So hopefully these cable cutters will do the job. Without making too much of a mess. Perfect. That's pretty neat. No real burrs. So there's your problem, lady. But that was because caused. Oh, be careful with these. They bite you. That was mainly caused from the pulleys breaking and just trying to work over that bolt. They weren't that successful. So to answer the question about the handbrake lever, I'm sure some of you have been watching and gone, what the hell's he got a handbrake lever there for? Well, it actually, it's out of a old Subaru, Liberty or Leone, or depends on what you guys call them. And it's all hooked up to a cable underneath and a turnbuckle. Goes all the way back down to the back there. And see if I can zoom in a bit there. And I've got a lever mechanism all hooked up for the tailgate release for when I'm carrying a bit of dirt. I'll just get it hooked up. Hang on, I'll show you. So as you can see, we've been working on this one. It's run by a cable, goes down to a pulley and goes into a little winch. Now that's just a 12 volt boat winch, nothing exciting. I don't know how many £1,000 or whatever it is. I don't think it's anything massive, but it certainly lifts up this little old box trailer. It's only a 6x4, which I've sort of made all the tipping mechanism and everything under the back, which I just hook up to my little old tractor and just hook it up to the 12 volt there through a 50 amp power cable. Now the other tipper trailer I have is this bigger one. Now it's a bit more substantial. Yeah, excuse the coloured wheels, different coloured wheels. This is the one that I use for carrying my machine around on. So it has to carry 2 ton, so plus its actual weight of the trailer. So the weight of the trailer itself is about 700 kilos. But it's a hydraulic tipper. So hopefully we've got enough charge in the old battery here when I plug the key in. So plug the old key in when it lets me. So we have juice, and then we just go. So you can see it's just a telescopic hydraulic cylinder. It goes through the hose into the toolie box there and onto the pump, and just a car battery and so forth through the isolator. Now you can, I put actually an Anderson plug there, a small one, 50 amp one that you can actually just hook up to your car, and it can sustain the power of that battery. It does charge it while it's plugged into your car, but it's been sitting out in the paddock for a while, so that's why I've got the battery charger on it at the moment. And also that battery is the breakaway system. For the electric brakes, there's a breakaway system there. It's hooked onto the chain. If the D-shackle or something, or the chain comes away and detaches from the vehicle, it pulls that little switch and locks all the brakes up. So it's much more a substantial tipper trailer. I've used it quite a few times on a few jobs, and it really does a great job. I think I've put about 5 ton on it, metric tons, and the floor is marine ply, or form ply I think you call it, so it's pretty durable. And I've also made these sides detachable. So there's big steel sides. They undo by that little clip up the top there, and they come out, and they're the ramps for my little excavator to drive up and down on. So if I stand back here a bit, if I was to lower that back down and just put those ramps on, it carries that little excavator around all day every day. So, but it's far superior to the little old 6x4 towed by my tractor, but it does the job. So she's does everything I need it to do. And this one's not registered where the big one is, and does an exceptionally good job. So that's about it for this video. It was all about the little tipper trailer and getting it working again, making those pulleys, and getting it, if I can get it to turn, there we go, getting those pulleys in there and getting them functionable again, so I can actually use this cable. I think I'm going to have to upgrade this cable. There's a few little spots where you see a couple of spikes on it, and if you have a look inside the winch there, the cable doesn't look too bad, but I think it's had a hard life in the past before I owned it. So anyways, onwards and upwards to the next one. So I hope you liked this video. If you do, give us a bit of love and click the old like button. And if you haven't done so already and you're sort of wondering what I do around the place, just subscribe and you'll see all the future updates on not just the trailers but any other excavator work that I do, and any other stuff around the property. So I do a lot of machining, a lot of welding, and sometimes a bit of timber work. So if you've been around the community for a while, that's great, thanks for that. And if not, click the old subscribe button, and I'll see you up on the next one, eh? So that'll be great. See you later. Bye. Malfunction, so I'll oh, there's my pussycat. Watch out.